Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. The Liberals have waded into the debate around the UTAS Southern City move, promising, if elected, to prevent the sale of the Sandy Bay campus if both Houses of Parliament approve. Labor focusing today on power, unveiling plans to boost energy generation by splitting Hydro Tasmania.
Putting their foot down on a controversial city move. If the Liberals win government, they'll amend the UTAS Act
to prevent the sale of the University of Tasmania Sandy Bay campus unless it has the explicit approval of both Houses of Parliament.
The Liberals have previously said the move's a matter for the university. In a 2022 elector poll, 74% of Hobart residents voiced disapproval for the move.
We have listened to the community and we are keen to work with the community and the university.
While I'm a little bit cynical, I'm also quite relieved that finally someone is listening.
But this wouldn't stop UTAS continuing to set up in the city, where 40% of southern operations already are. A UTAS spokesperson said, "We look forward to seeing the detail on this policy announcement and understanding the legal, planning and financial implications."
It just creates huge uncertainty for businesses looking to invest in our state, that all of that could be changed in the stroke of a pen.
The energy debate surging again. The Liberals to progress a renewable energy zone for the northwest coast and build vital transmission lines.
We will have a training hub facility for renewable energy developments right here, building our workforce capacity.
Labor wants to harness the state's wind by creating a new government business enterprise called Tasmanian Power Co. It would take on the state's wind assets, facilitate private investors and invest in their projects.
The current spot price is below that break-even price, so that's where we need government to step in and help fill that gap somehow.
Tasmania's economy shrunk last year because there wasn't enough power for it to grow, and that's why we need to change the way we're doing things.
Claiming a jumpstart's needed to build energy for manufacturing and create jobs. But splitting Hydro is splitting opinions.
They're proposing to rob the Hydro of some of its best capabilities, create a whole new bureaucracy.
Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
The Greens have hit out at proposed changes to antique firearms laws endorsed by the major parties after it was revealed the Police Commissioner was not consulted on them.
You've got the Liberal Minister Felix Ellis talking up big about community safety and backing police to the hilt to fall over on this most critical task.
The Liberals and Labor say they'll change laws so owners of antique firearms require only to register them rather than obtain a licence, as police announced last month. Tasports admits businesses and tourism operators will suffer a blow after Virgin Voyages cancelled the Resilient Lady's 17 remaining visits to Tasmania due to potential escalations in the Red Sea, making the journey unsafe. Tasports says it will be working with the industry to attract other cruisers to our ports, acknowledging the move was necessary to keep tourists safe. Tasmanians are being hailed for their generosity as new data reveals our state leads the nation in organ donations. But we're being told talking to family is just as important as registering to donate life.
For Adam Isaac, a chronic illness was no walk in the park. Kidney disease making it difficult to build a future.
I felt for years that my life was just on hold and that I wasn't really going anywhere.
The situation became dire when he went into renal failure.
I was incredibly unwell. I was still working full time, but I really struggled.
While waiting lists can be long, he was only on dialysis for 8 weeks before being offered a life-altering transplant.
I don't know who it was or where it came from. But I'm very lucky to get one.
Around 1,400 people around the country are waiting for an organ, with newly released figures revealing Tasmania's donation rate is almost double the rest of Australia.
Last year, Tasmania had a donation rate of 37 donors per million population. That compared to the rest of Australia, which is about 19.3 donors per million.
Close to 85% of Tasmanian families gave their consent for their loved one to become an organ donor, while just over 1 in 2 say yes nationwide.
I think that's one of the things we actually do very well in this state. We actually spend a lot of time with families explaining everything and making sure that they actually make the right decision.
But Donate Life is still encouraging us to have the important conversations with our families before it's too late.
When we actually talk to families about whether their loved one would want to be an organ donor, If families don't know, they actually don't know what the right thing to say is.
For this recipient, a transplant provided something more to look forward to.
Yeah, we've got a baby due in July, and that's as a direct result of being much healthier than I was earlier.
Giving Tasmanians a second chance at a new life. Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
Unions and the state government have clashed again over pay rises within Metro Tasmania. The Manufacturing Workers Union claims maintenance managers have received a combined pay rise of more than 130%, also accusing the company of saving $400,000 due to a rise in vacant mechanic positions over the past 2 years. The union calling on Metro to put a better pay deal forward.
The only way you can fix Metro is with mechanics. You can't fix Metro without mechanics.
Unfortunately, some of the claims that continue to come from the union are incorrect, and it's pretty obvious during an election campaign what's going on there.
Mr Ferguson says Metro and other transport companies are facing recruitment challenges. The Liberals have also defended their investment in public transport following the release of a scathing report from the McKell Institute. It says Tasmania has a lower spend in the country, calling the network inequitable.
We're actually taking new steps in park and ride for Lon Ceston and a new transit centre, half-price bus fares to encourage more Tasmanians to try public transport.
The Institute also recommending Metro's GBE status be scrapped, saying the current arrangement gives the state government too much discretion. Lon Ceston's City Mission has aided countless vulnerable Tasmanians, with its staff and volunteers marking a significant milestone today. Despite shifting demands over the years, it says its commitment to assisting the community remains steadfast.
Lending more than just a helping hand to the Lon Ceston community for the past 170 years.
We were there for the poor of Lon Ceston. We were there to alleviate suffering.
First established in 1854 as a Lon Ceston town mission, the local charity has grown to support tens of thousands of northern Tasmanians, providing care and assistance for some of our most vulnerable.
The faces change, but a lot of the needs remain the same.
Decades of dedicated volunteers giving a leg up to those doing it tough, offering a range of services from serving up hot meals at the local soup kitchen, sorting through food and clothing donations, to rental assistance and healthcare.
Safe to approach us and ask for that help, knowing that we'll be able to do what we can. We'll be non-judgmental. Sometimes people just need to know that there's people that care.
Throughout the years, the generosity of the local community, the key to the organisation's longevity.
There's a history of helping people in the community, but we don't do it alone. The support that we get through the appeals and the donations, the goods and things like that really makes a difference.
Aiming to be there for all Tasmanians for many more years to come. Victoria Easto, 7 Tasmania News.
Final preparations are underway ahead of tomorrow's Lon Ceston Cup. A pre-cup lunch was held in Lon Ceston this afternoon. Keen punters and members of Tasmania's racing community hearing from jockey Jim Cassidy and trainer Lindsay Smith.
It's about carnival, so we've reintroduced this after 8 years. We've got Jim Cassidy here, of course. He won the Caulfield and Melbourne Cup on Might and Power, also won on Kiwi back in 1983. And Lindsay Smith, one of our great trainers from the mainland, who's now looking at having some horses here in Tasmania.
Aurora Symphony is favourite for tomorrow's race, which gets underway just before 5 o'clock. A Tasmanian cat shelter is scratching to find more foster carers, with their homing facility now at full capacity. Just Cats Tasmania has taken in hundreds of felines over the past few weeks and fear that number will get even higher.
All paws on deck to help Tasmanian cats find a home. Just Cats Tasmania at capacity, with more people than ever surrendering felines to the organisation.
Cost of living is a really big factor. It's kitten season, so lots of unplanned litters, undesexed cats, also colonies of cats.
Their Mowbray facility has received 200 surrenders in the past 10 days alone. 15 more were handed over yesterday, all unannounced, adding extra pressure to staff and volunteers.
So that's on average 20 cats a day that have been coming into our facility. And so that's just basically put us at maximum capacity with not a pen spare.
Cats just like Maya and Hugo, ready to be loved by a new family. The organisation stressing the importance of desexing pet cats to help with population control.
The cats can actually come into season at 4 months of age. So just at 16 weeks of age, you'll have a kitten that is ready to become pregnant. A cat can have up to 8 to 16 kittens just in that one kitten season.
Anyone willing to be a foster carer is encouraged to contact Just Cats via their website.
They really shouldn't be here. So they really should be in a foster home or in a home, a permanent home.
Finding a home sure to have these cats purring for the rest of their lives. Mark Zita, 7 Tasmanian News.
An extra fluffy staff member was today appointed to the Federal Family Court in Hobart to share her positivity. Zoe is the first of her kind in the state, expected to play a pivotal role supporting witnesses and those affected by family violence.
Officially sworn in for her most important job yet.
I hereby appoint Zoe to the position of court therapy dog at the Hobart Registry commencing on 27 February.
Zoe's the first therapy dog in Tasmania, tasked with supporting people who are forced to present at the Family Court of Australia based in Hobart.
Family law litigation is very, very difficult, can be at times traumatising itself. And the idea of having a calming influence like Zoe makes a massive difference.
Following a rigorous accreditation program on the mainland, she's been trained to pick up when someone in the witness box might need her and support children and parents during all court proceedings.
When someone is stressed or when there's something difficult occurring, and she seems to adopt a very placid, calm demeanour at those times.
Tail up, shiny eyes, looking around. If there's somebody who's distressed, I might say, come on, we'll go and say hello.
Aside from Zoe, just one other dog based in Melbourne's part of the court dog program, with calls for it to be expanded even further.
I believe we'd like to see the court dog program rolled out across Tasmania and in all jurisdictions, not just the Federal Circuit Court.
For now, she'll take on the job solo, sometimes encouraged with a treat or two. Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmanian News.
Early marks are on the cards for Jackies fans tomorrow to get to MyState Bank Arena for a 5:30 tip-off. Bosses are being flexible and some after-school programs cancelled to make sure we get the full advantage of a packed home court. A week and a half off from playing has done wonders to clear up any niggles amongst the Jack jumpers. Just don't call it a break.
I don't know about freshening up. We practice hard here, but yeah, just staying in rhythm and getting around the guys and keeping the same intensity up.
They'll need to be on the ball against the Hawks.
They obviously, to me, are the hottest team coming into this tournament. You have to have a little luck and some momentum, and I think both teams actually are coming in with momentum, and it's just a matter of whose will is going to be tested first and who'll break.
Illawarra's lost 4 of their last 5 finals appearances, but that stat doesn't mean anything given the club's mid-season turnaround to become one of the league's biggest threats.
They're just gelling a little more. I think they're playing together, and you can see that they've changed their energy with the new coach.
Scott Roth has full confidence in his squad to score a win tomorrow and jump straight to the playoff series against the Wildcats.
They've been down this road before and know what it takes. We have, I think everyone on our roster moving into this game has played in the last 3 years in the finals, and that experience hopefully will pay off.
After 9 weeks out, finals isn't the ideal time for Majuk Dang's return. It's still unclear how much game time he'll get tomorrow.
His shooting is something that I think people fear, and we'll just see how it goes. But like I said, we'll manage what we need to manage. After 5 TSL premierships and 242 games for North Launceston, Brad Cox-Goodger is switching gears, taking the reins of AFL Tasmania's new junior academy programs as a talent pathways coach. He'll be working with 12 to 15-year-old boys and girls, identifying talent and preparing them to be the next generation of professional footballers.
For these kids to one day play for an AFL team in Tasmania. That's the end goal, so there's a lot of work to go before that, but yeah, that's a pie in the sky and I can't wait to get started.
He's just a really good Tasmanian football person. He knows it intimately, but he's worked with young players and seen real growth in their footy.
Brad's given up coaching duties at North Launceston but says he'll still pull on the boots every now and then. Victorian stayer Aurora's Symphony is in line to make history if it wins tomorrow's Lon Ceston Cup for the 3rd year running. The 7-year-old gelding carries 6 kilograms more than last year, coming fresh off a Hobart Cup win. The best local hope is Devonport Cup winner Ashy Boy. He'll need to find an extra 500 metres in him to take this one out.
Good evening. Hobart 25 degrees today, Lon Ceston 26, and along with Bushy Park, that was our top. Devonport and Burnie 22, temperatures generally above average. Grove 25, Strawn and the Islands 24, Smithton and Friendly Beaches 23 degrees, Low Head and St Helens 21. Scattered cloud did move over the north as high cloud streamed over the southern districts today, but not much about. Low cloud due to a moist onshore flow is over coastal New South Wales, convective cover over inland New South Wales and southern Queensland, and the tropics under heavier cover. Tomorrow, the high moves further over the Tasman Sea as the low deepens near our shores. The winds northeasterly at 20 to 30 knots over most waters, lighter over the south and the inland lakes. We do have a strong wind warning. That's from Low Rocky Point up and around and down to Southeast Cape. Hobart tomorrow, a late shower or two, a top of 31 degrees, 31 for Geeveston and Bothwell, all with that shower moving in later. Lon Ceston Cup Day, a late shower, but it'll be after dark, pretty late at night, 30 degrees, 25 for Devonport and 30 for Cressy, so that change moving in well into the evening. A late shower for Burnie and 23, 29 the top for Strawn, a possible storm, windy for Curry on King Island with that shower moving in as well. St Helens a late shower and 27, 30 the high for Swansea and Orford, all with that same forecast. On Thursday, mainly fine and partly cloudy, just a shower over the west. Fine again on Friday, a 70% chance of a shower for Strawn, and on Saturday, similar weather with temperatures cooling just a little. Further north, and 30 in Perth tomorrow, 33 the top in Adelaide, a late cool change in Melbourne after a muggy 37 degrees, partly cloudy for Canberra and Sydney, and a sunny 30 on the way in Brisbane. Partly cloudy, 21 in Hobart, 22 in Launceston and 20 right now in Devonport. Kim, Launceston Cup tomorrow, a bit of a tough race. Grand Piero's in the race. Piero being a southern Italian derivative of the name Pietro or Peter. Might go that for my namesake, but I'll probably just put the money in superannuation for my retirement.
Very wise choice, well done. But you have a good day tomorrow. You're allowed to have a small little bet. Well, that is a small one. That's all your news for now. We'll have updates throughout the night. But for now, on behalf of the 7 Tasmania team, it is good night.